Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's my voice. I'm back. I'm back on the show now. Taylor and Trevor had to leave for a while, and they replaced me. But with me this week, I have a special guest co-host who was on the show previously for my absence. We've got Eric Bishop.
You've been gone quite a lot.
Yeah, I have.
I think you're gone more than you're actually here.
Yeah.
Did you say the last episode was at 69 and now we're on 81?
Yeah.
I think I've done more episodes than you have in the past 12 episodes, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to start needing a paycheck here, man.
So we've got the cabin boy, Eric Bishop
I don't
from
do the-
C98's
I don't do
Morning
the old
Adjustment.
cabin boy anymore.
Oh.
That was when I was a little boy. Now I'm a man. My balls dropped since
The
then.
cabin man?
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Cabin man.
No, you can just call me Eric.
Okay.
Or you can call me Big Dog. One of the two.
All right.
You can
Big
go with
dog.
you can call me Big Dog. There
Big
you go.
dog. Yeah.
I like when he calls me Big Dog.
Big dog. So he is filling in as my guest co-host. This week, we decided to change it up a bit. I know in the past we bring on bands, musicians, and that, and talk to them and let them play some music, some good old tunes.
We had to let it air out a little bit.
Exactly. After the road to Vegas and that, we figured Sioux City was tired of music for a weekend. So, without any further ado, we've got the guys from the comedy night down at the Chesterfield. We've got.
Hey.
Hi.
How you guys
Hi.
doing?
We're so glad to be here. We're glad that everybody else said no.
So we've got John.
Yes, sir.
We've got Don, Britt, and Drake's over here next to Eric.
Drake, it is the real Drake. He's here.
Yep.
Yeah,
He switched to comedy.
And you called me on the cell phone.
I was given a number. I thought I was calling John.
Since Drake got popular, how many Drake jokes do you have to put up with on a weekly basis? I'm sure at least one or two, right?
That's his whole act. That's all.
Yeah, but just I just make fun of rap the entire time. Yep, that's it.
I can already tell you're more talented than he is, by the way. So
Oh, thank you.
you wear a beanie. A successful man wears a beanie. So
Absolutely.
Of course.
So let's go around the table. I guess we'll start with John over there on the other side of the room. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm John.
And
Hi,
that's
John.
it.
Thank you. No, I'm John Olson. I've been here. I'm from Sioux City, born and raised. Sorry, about the born thing. It happened. Let's forget about it, shall we? I don't know. I've been doing comedy for my entire life, I guess, but mostly professionally for 5 years or so. So, yeah, it's been fun. I enjoy it
Okay.
a lot. I don't know.
do you enjoy it more than sex?
No,
God no.
no, not quite. No more. No.
Say, let's do this. I always love this when it comes to comedians. Say something funny. You got something funny?
Oh, absolutely, all the time.
This is going on our resume.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing really.
You got nothing.
That was good enough. Don bailed you out there.
Yeah, he's always doing that.
I am the artist formerly known as Don Reese. There are rumors that I'm still in the comedy business, but as so far, no real hard proof. Been doing it for 32 years.
Wow.
I still live here out of spite. And I'm a regular at the Chesterfield, where you can see the best up-and-coming comics. And they pull me out of the whatever happened to file occasionally, and I go up and do some time. Me and Spinal Tap. I'm a one-man Spinal Tap. That's what I am.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Either that or it's a life alert check, one of the two. Just making sure you're still around there.
Yeah.
I'm Britt. I'm from Sioux City. I am not a professional comedian. I've been doing it a handful of weeks, maybe a couple months. I was just always a big fan of stand-up, and John put out a Craigslist ad, and
That was
Like
not
after
like
he
a
untied
casual encounter act?
no, that was
Yeah.
not.
yeah,
That was not meant to get comedians. It was meant.
No, I know.
Was
So
it-
once he untied me, and took me out of his trunk at the Chesterfield, and he threw me up on stage, and that's kind of how it started. So
Happens a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, there's plenty of former comics that are somewhere. in the basement of the Chesterfield. They use them for the, the stuff for the. They use it for the Nightmare on 4th Street, like the dummies that pop out.
There goes the secret.
So, Britt, you've been doing it a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, a couple months, 2 months. 3
Okay,
months.
so you get this Craigslist ad. You're like, oh man, never thought of being a comedian before. That sounds great. I'm gonna give up the circus.
Right.
And I'm gonna go into comedy.
Exactly.
They get rid of the elephants, and you lose a lot of employees. Anyway, so what's been a cool thing that you've learned within the past couple of weeks? One thing that like kind of sticks out in your mind.
I just, I guess, I never realized. I mean, I never thought I could write jokes and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know. I've gotten up to a good 6-7 minutes worth. I guess that. I got about 1 decent minute though, so that's just how it goes.
And that's probably longer than he is in bed, so that's good.
Yeah,
Anyway, there you go.
sure.
Whole minute, man.
Ask Drake
Awesome.
about that.
We got the Drake over here. What's up, Drake?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Tell us a little bit about yourself, as Darin would like to say.
Yeah.
I am also born and raised in Sioux City, and I've been actually in February. I've been doing the open mic for 4 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Before I could legally go into bars, I was doing the open mic.
It was your way to getting in the door. I'm a performer. I can be here.
Yep. Yay loophole.
All right, so how's it for getting women so far? Why is that
About
fun?
like that.
Hold on, John. Hold on.
Like he has any place to talk.
What, are you single?
No,
You're not single. Oh, so you can't be getting women then, right? You're locked down?
I got one.
You got one? That's it?
He is the Tiger Woods of the Chesterfield.
How long have you been going out? Are you guys married?
Well, you see here.
Question is,
Come on,
is
let's
her
get-
name
let's-
Rihanna?
We got what an hour and 59 minutes left here. So take the oh yeah, he's busting his shirt off and everything. First, I was to say when you invited me on the show here, Darin, I was hoping that there'd at least be one chick like there was last week. And instead, I come into a basement full of men. Not that Don's not that good looking. He's pretty good.
Well, my hair is a little bit long.
It is a little bit long. That's nice. I guess that's as close as we're going to get. Oh.
Well, at least they're not purple.
Yeah, this is way too close for me. You want to switch spots here, Darin?
Oh, come on, don't hide your true
Darin
feelings.
doesn't mind that every now and then. Just a little bit.
Oh, come on, don't hide your true feelings.
Just to see how it feels. You never know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so tell us about yourself.
I thought I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't tell us a damn. He didn't tell us a damn thing about himself, did he?
2 things.
His
Okay.
name's Drake, and he's got a girlfriend.
He's got a girlfriend. How long you been going out with the girlfriend?
About a month.
About a month. Okay, so you're not. Oh, you're pretty locked down at a month, right? This is like the most dangerous time of your relationship, right? You get caught messing around, doing anything wrong, you're gonna get your ass kicked. This first couple of months is gonna, and then they eventually stop caring.
Oh, so I got to wait a couple months.
Yeah, just put up with it. About a year. Put up with it for about a year, and then she'll stop caring what you're doing.
Okay. I'll make sure to write that down.
Should have brought
What,
some.
also,
Where's your paper at?
Also, a few months later, what'd you do? Hey, he told me it was okay. Man on radio said okay.
I should start giving out relationship advice. That's what I'm learning here tonight. Anyway,
New segment for the show, right?
Yeah. Well, we have done that in the past, and it failed miserably.
do a little love connection down here or something.
Or is
It
it
used to be
seated?
called Love and Lust, and then people started writing us emails about their dogs, if dogs can contract STDs and stuff like that, and it got really
Yes.
awkward.
That sounds exciting.
Yes.
So can they name names?
Really shows the type of listenership we've got out there.
Yeah.
Drake and his girlfriend are a cute couple, though. I've seen them out together, and he wears a shirt that says "I'm the gatekeeper." And she wears "I'm the keymaster." It's cute, and they got arrows that point different directions.
Damn, man.
So, within your time of doing comedy all these years, have you guys shared the stage with any, I guess, more popular? Not that you guys are not popular, but popular comedians that the random person listening to would be like, "Hey, I know who that is."
Anybody shared the stage with Bill Cosby? Don,
No.
maybe? No?
What puts the
I
pudding
have
in the
just
pudding
fragments of
pot?
memories. I might have.
Who's somebody cool that you've got to open up for?
Kevin Pollak was one I
Nice.
really enjoyed working with. Jeff Foxworthy,
Oh wow.
Adam Sandler. Rosie O'Donnell was actually a really nice person. I worked with her years ago. Really quiet, but very, very, almost like shy, but really nice person. Got to work with David Brenner once, Tommy Chong,
Wow.
and his wife, who needs to be thrown down some stairs, and under a train and on fire. I'm sorry, did not like that woman.
That sounds like a fun, exciting story. Take us back.
And worked with Steve Harvey and I think Daryl Hammond.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
quite a
SNL
list.
ties.
Yeah, these guys, a lot of guys who went on to great things from the last comic standing were opening acts for me. So I'm like the guy who opens the door and goes, "Go ahead, I'll get there eventually," and I just fall asleep in the couch and I wake up and that's it.
Do you ever,
Nothing.
do
The
you ever
train's left.
still try to stay in touch with any of these guys, or try to give Sandler a call every now and then on the weekends or something?
No.
Hey, Adam.
Although Foxworthy surprised me, I just was in town for a few days, killing time in Kansas City in between gigs. I went down, did a guest set. He was the headliner, and like 2-3 years later, I did a college. He'd been there like a week before, and he saw me and he said, "Oh, Don's coming. Tell Don I said hi." He remembered me, which really surprised me. And he was really a prince of a guy too, with the nicest man you'll ever meet.
You might be a redneck.
Yeah.
That is true.
I work with Don, so
What about Nick?
yeah. I did a show with Mick Foley.
Oh, really?
kidding
Yeah,
me.
That's
that was
cool.
that was awesome.
Lucky bastard.
Oh yeah, it was great. I also did a show with Jimmy J.J. Walker, which I would rather slam my head into that pole, but
What was his big line again? He had a big line. He's one of the-
Dynamite, but he doesn't-
Dynamite. There
He'll
we
sell
go.
a T-shirt that says it, but he doesn't like to say it.
And then it's $40 if you want him to stand in front of the T-shirt with it
Yes.
on, hugging him or something.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, one of those types. Huh?
He actually did radio for a while. Did you know that?
No, I
No.
didn't know.
He did in I think it was in Omaha. He actually
lives
was
in
on
Omaha.
talk. He was on talk radio,
Wow.
and he was doing a political show. And I just thought, wow.
Oh, wow.
I
See
think
him
Trump's
in rerun on
dynamite.
Crossfire might be interesting. That's my pundit.
but yeah, no, he was a special kind of guy. Special.
Yeah,
I
he's aging weirdly, even weirder than me.
Yeah, he looks like Homer Simpson.
He does. I saw him walk in the room, and I just saw his silhouette from behind the light. I go, it looks like Homer Simpson. No exaggeration. It totally look like Homer Simpson.
That's awesome. What about you, Britt?
Uh,
Anybody exciting yet?
I've watched Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Yeah. And no, that's about it.
You've opened up for Don Reese on Comedy Nights.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess you can call it that.
So you've opened up for the man who opened up for Sandler. So
right.
There you go. You got
pretty
your foot
damn
in the
close.
door.
Degree of
That's pretty
separation.
damn close.
Yep. But he's always asking me to open up in different ways. Which is,
Once.
well, okay. Once is always, but to me, I'll never forget.
And he never says no for
right.
some reason.
Right. Well,
Better not.
exactly right. Look at this guy.
What about you, Drake? What about you?
This last year at the last Cancer Sucks Comedy Rocks, I was the opening act for, and the main headliner was Bob Zaney.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right.
How did I forget about Bob?
Bob?
Yeah,
What
how did I
about
forget about Bob?
Because you suck.
I guess apparently.
What?
Didn't make an impression or something, right?
And you were on the show with
Yeah, the year before.
I'm trying to think.
Pat McGann.
Pat McGann.
Yep.
He's done Letterman.
Okay.
So there you go.
What made you guys want to get into comedy?
Flunked out everything else. Couldn't hold a job.
It's
No,
some-
I always wanted to be one since I was a kid. Then a club opened here, and I had a chance at it. I was working at your station
Oh, no
back
kidding.
there on
Huh?
Steuben Street. Yeah, and then I was asked to leave. And, well, yeah, they we can't have two people. And I wasn't on air. I wrote commercials, and well, it was payday. You can get 2 weeks severance if you leave quietly, but if you stay, they're going to knock me down to like $4 an hour, 20 hours a week. And
Put 'em in the
I could-
mailroom.
I could starve making, doing comedy, make $80 a week. So
Hey, the funny thing is when before you even start radio, you're like, hey, I'll do anything for free. And then you get into it and you're like, oh, man, thank God I asked for a little bit of pay. And I didn't say I would do
I
this
was there when
free.
it was Rock 98.
Yeah,
Then
that
it
was
became
uh,
Z 98 because they bought a CD player.
Yeah.
Didn't they give an IROC Z away at one point? I'm pretty sure.
They
I
might have.
remember that.
Oh, jeez. An IROC Z.
No, that was far before my time. Yeah, over there, Steuben Street, and then that was when everything was separated. You know, everything's kind of pushed together. There's two pretty much companies that have about 5 or 6 stations each, and everything was separated back in what was it?
Oh yeah, and they hated the guys at KG95. Now they're across the hall from each other. It's hilarious.
Exactly. And they do work for the stations as well. You know, it's all a big team anymore.
I used to win call-in contests all the time, and they fucking lied to me because it wasn't a prize vault; it was a filing cabinet. It really was.
At least they didn't pull the Toyota thing on you.
No, I
heard
got
about that one.
I got Dookie. I remember getting the Green Day album Dookie out of there.
The first thing I ever won off a radio was a Jewel CD.
Oh, nice.
Never opened it.
I found out what lesbians were because I won tickets to Melissa Etheridge. I was in 6th grade. Yep. It was a fun night.
Good times.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, man, I started, I guess, wanting to be a comedian when I was 5. I think I was like 5 years old, and I ended up staying up real late at night watching an HBO special of Richard Pryor. It was live on Sunset Strip, so it was one of the greatest albums he ever made. But also, yeah, it was wonderful. And from then, like Sam Kinison and so on and so forth. And then one day, I don't know, I was like 11 or 12. I was watching Comedy Central, and Don Reese here was on it. Well, anyway, he had mentioned something in his set that he lived here, or he was from Sioux City, and I was like, wow. So here I am, like 12 years old, and I going through and look in the phone book, and there it is, right there, like Don Reese. I'm like, well, I'm gonna call him. So I called this dude.
Dad.
It was completely awesome. I was 12 years old, asking him all about comedy and everything else, and he was really cool to me for like 15 minutes.
And Don's like, I'm gonna jump in my panel van and I'll be right over.
I was gonna say, how did your mom and dad feel about it the first time they dropped you off at Don Reese's house for a comedy lesson?
He has puppies.
He's got some good jokes, Mom.
Mom, he's got puppies in a hot tub.
Well, did he have a good time? When he comes off under the bed, we'll ask him.
Just remember, the peanut butter goes on the Don. That's how.
I'm just still trying to picture you walking around at 8 to 12 years old copying Richard Pryor jokes. I can imagine how that went.
It was really
the same way. I loved comedy growing up. I regret not trying it 10 years ago or whatever. I don't think I'm going anywhere in this. It's fun.
You had to grow into your look. You really had to
exactly
get it all flavored and spiced up.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, man, I was doing like shows in my basement for like the neighborhood kids and stuff like that for years, and then I turned 18 and I called Don again. I'm like, hey, how's this work? And he's like, well, what do you mean? You just put it in. But no, but no, I was like,
You gotta spit on it
he
first.
told me to go down to
Tears
Oh
work.
my God.
he told me,
All right.
he told me
Next stop, sub basement.
he told me to go down to Omaha and check out the Funny Bone. I went down there, got in their open mic, and then life got in the way for a little bit longer, and then ended up at Fat Daddy's up in Sioux Falls in 2011, I think. And then that's where it all took off from there.
What do you remember about that first performance, like the first time, especially Omaha, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like first-time comedian, never done this on a stage before,
Yeah.
and you're going to the Funny Bone in Omaha.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
did that go?
I thought I was really good. I thought I was. And then I look back on it now because I do have it on like tape at home, and I wasn't at all very good. And yeah, so I can see why I stopped for 12 years. But
Do you remember any of the jokes?
uh,
Even one like little
I-
piece of it or something?
no, not really. It's not something that I would say.
That bad?
Yeah, it was just like storytelling. I thought at one point I thought I was Richard Pryor, so it was weird. I was talking about freebasing and shit. So it didn't work out. So
So what all goes into like writing jokes? I've always wondered that for a long time. You see comedians like, Kevin Hart or Chris Rock and that, and, their material's funny, but I mean, what all goes into, is it personal stories or?
I think a little bit of everything, honestly. I used to, one of my writing exercises when I first started out was just driving around. Clear your mind, and then things just start hitting it. And then, obviously, luckily now we have smartphones and everything else that have recording devices and everything else on it. So you just hit record and you just talk. So I'm driving around town talking to myself and then coming up with material afterwards. So there's a good, that helps a lot. And then obviously life as well. So, I mean, there's things.
I think if you're on comics too,
Yeah.
I at least early on, whenever I'd work the road with guys I really liked, we were in the same wavelength, thought the same things were funny, had the same ideas, what was funny, what wasn't. Yeah, it's just conducive to that. It's really easy. And plus, if you really listen to a lot of comics and study it, you find after a while there are certain techniques used over and over. You know what I mean? You can't break it down just to simple mathematics like it, but you'll notice like, okay, this is a great way to flip this idea on it, this premise on its head, this idea in its head. You get that from watching. Dick Gregory said when he decided to make the transition from an athlete to a comedian, he had to train his mind like he trained his body. So there's a lot. I think you have to have some kind of a knack for it.
How has your comedy evolved over the years? Because what year did you start again?
83.
83?
Yeah.
So what were your jokes like in 83 compared to what you're doing now?
Oh, way different. Because back then it was very ordinary kind of topics, marriage and that sort of thing. And I always liked monster movies, comic books and stuff. I would try to do that in my act. It would just never take. And then went full time in 85. In 88, I shaved my head when you weren't supposed to do that, And all of a sudden, everybody was treating me like I was an escaped lunatic, So all of a sudden, these jokes worked with that look. So I do most of that. I talk about now mainly what I want to talk about, and I'll have to couch it and maybe the way I word it for people who aren't into it as much as I am. You know what I mean? I don't want to say dumbed down, but you just kind of file some of the edges off it for them.
That's kind of like John talking to everybody like they know everything about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I have no
There
clue.
you go.
It happens.
People never go. I went and saw emo at the Hard Rock, and there was these people behind me and this woman just going, I didn't get that. I just wanted to turn on. You are genetically incapable of getting that. You're morons at the molecular level. Shut up. Go watch a tractor pull.
That's another good thing here.
I just hate people. You don't get it. You sit in a movie and you just keep talking to it. Oh, they'll change. Let's make this a Western. Maybe that'll shut her up.
Don't worry. We're going to get to you here in a second, Drake. Just stand by. How do you deal with hecklers?
You don't get hecklers. What most people consider heckling, you usually don't get a lot of someone who's really malicious and trying to undermine your act. Usually it's somebody in the audience who's drunk and thinks they're helping, which makes it tougher if you really sit on them hard. I mean, it's just, I had a woman one night who was just so drunk, wouldn't shut up, and she had a whole family with just tables of people with her, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I thought, you still talking? So I picked up the table 10, had the list. Look what it says here. It says Don Reese headlining, Dan Still feature act. Nowhere does it say Dan Still, Don Reese, and a loud drunk cow near the back. No one wants to talk to you. And then I got really mean. I said something about anybody wants to be entertained by you is home downloading your Tijuana donkey video, and the table went berserk, and they're all mad. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to be your friend. You're down here. We're doing the job. You're screwing it up. You think you're that funny? You're not. Get up here. I dare you. Go into a room full of strangers and make half of them laugh half the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we're splitting the atom doing this, but it isn't as easy as it looks.
Yeah, I think
I've never met one comic ever in all the years I've done this who started out as a heckler, ever. Like, oh my God, he's funny. Let's get him up there and make him a star. It never happens that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Just some drunk guy's going to get thrown out.
Well, you find generally, I think the crowd would be on your side, but that's a hard thing to do. How you present that on stage without coming off as an arrogant asshole. Like,
yeah.
I hate this guy now because of the way he treated that person, even though that person was way out of line. Some people can't handle that in an effective way to where you can still go on with the show and feel comfortable with it afterwards. So apparently you handled it
Well,
well.
if the crowd gets mad enough, too, you got them on your side.
Yeah, people tend to.
I paid for this. This is our date night, and I got to listen to this moron next to me. He's talking over everything. It's like what did Doug Stanhope says. People go to a comedy club, they don't check out who's there. It's like they go to a Cineplex. Hey, we liked what we saw in 8 last week. Let's go see that again. I better be enough. Oh, I didn't like this one. They just don't look into it. Like the Emo Phillips thing. Look him up online. He's all over the place. If you don't like this, what are you doing here? I mean, in the old days, it was different. You know, you didn't know everybody. Just look him up. You know?
Exactly.
I haven't gone to too many comedy shows. Like the last time I went was Larry the Cable Guy here, and that. But I did actually catch your guys' act a couple weeks ago at the Chesterfield,
No.
and that was first time in a
sorry.
couple years.
And you
What?
still had us on the show.
Yeah.
I know, that's crazy.
He's a
Yeah.
brave man.
He actually came when he got home.
Yeah,
It was that good.
yeah.
The last time I had to deal with not really a heckling situation, but a drunk overindulger. We went to a David Koechner. He's
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's buddy. He's in a lot of different Will Ferrell movies and stuff like that. And the guy I happened to be with got a little bit inebriated and started yelling out lines at him because he does a part of his show where he just does lines from movies that he's been in. And he starts yelling out the wrong lines. The lines that the guy doesn't even say in the movie. He's like, no, that's Will Ferrell's part. No. All right, let's be quiet over here. And I had to be with the guy. So, I mean, that's another thing, too, is, yeah, you got to check your friends, too, and see who you're hanging out with that night.
Yeah.
Especially when you
Because
go to
I've done
comedy
that
show.
with guys. Look, either you got to leave or I got to leave. I'm not going to stay there with you while you do this.
Exactly.
I can't, like, nah.
I'm not in this group anymore, so.
How many shows do you guys do a year? I mean, touring wise, or
Yeah, I don't do as many as I used to. Boy. If you count up days I was on the road, I'm talking days. Sometimes you had days off between gigs. It was just easier to do that than go home. Half days, you drive, you're coming back. My record was I was on the road, not working every night, but most nights. 275 days one year.
wow.
Yeah, and that about killed me. I got a blood clot in my leg from sitting in planes and cars and waiting for, to go on stage. Never again. Usually it's around 220 days in a road. Not so much now. I got old, and it's just the bookers kind of move on. They want the younger. So, I'm the
He's-
old
he's
sweaty,
playing-
creepy guy. So,
He's playing mostly Florida retirement.
yeah, I'm doing most of that, yeah.
It's a big circuit, though. So.
You wake up. You may be 80, but I'm not. Wake up.
I was on the road for a total of 12 days last year. So,
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I'm almost there. Yeah, it's getting there.
You
yeah.
try to beat it next year? This year?
I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to. I'm unemployed now, so I got to do something to get some money. So
Maybe just start showing up at places. You do your routine, and then you just put your hand out at the end, and you say,
put a guitar case down.
I've provided you a service.
Just stand on the corner on 4th Street. I know some musicians end up doing that
Yeah.
and open up their case.
I hear Chili's is a great place. If you just set up inside of Chili's, you'll be fine. They don't care. They really don't.
PetSmart.
Hey, John, your material's funny, but this is Chuck E. Cheese.
Who the hell was that?
You're
Oh,
scared.
Drake, you're still here. Thank God. Oh, he scared me there. I was like, where the fuck's that voice coming from? Scared me.
What's the farthest you've had to travel for a show? We'll start with Drake because we kind of have been ignoring him. What's the farthest you've traveled?
Sue.
I've done open mics in both Omaha and Sioux Falls. That's
Okay.
it.
That's a little fun, huh?
All right.
What's been like? What was like the best show you've ever done? Was it here, Sioux City, Sioux Falls? Is there like a feeling you get when you're like, hell yeah, I just killed that. That was a great show.
I don't know what the best.
Or
one
is it like
I don't know the best one I've done, but yeah, when you're just like on point with your timing and everything, and I did a contest once. Well, not in Omaha. It was somewhere in Iowa, like east of Omaha, as in a
Council
in a
Bluffs.
no, further.
Clarinda.
Not that, but further.
And I did and what surprised me is that it was a very small town. Like, I was talking to some people because they're raising money for the senior prom at the after party, and I was talking to some of the kids there because they were running it, and they're talking their high school size is like maybe 100.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, oh, that's maybe a third of my class of one of 4 schools. So it's all like country,
So you were
farmers.
like the big celebrity for the night then, right? So you must have had all the high
We
school
got a
chicks.
comedian from the big city coming to town.
There's a lot of Omaha comics down there, and yeah, I went there, and surprisingly, everyone there was there live because I figured, more conservative, and some of my jokes are not, but no, they didn't care. They were there laughing. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Drake is always fun to watch, but he's more fun to watch when he has a smart crowd
Yeah.
because he's got very smart stuff. So it's always funny, but there's a lot of nuance and things, little things like, okay, just slide over some people's head. I love when he gets a good, smart crowd and they're going, aha, okay, finally somebody,
Well, don't do any
appreciates-
jokes tonight then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably won't get any.
I
of
hear
them.
there's, I don't get it, but
So
some people
Humpty
do.
Dumpty.
That's one great thing about the open mic here. I've really noticed, it takes a long time to for most people to kind of find themselves on stage, find their persona. You know what I mean? And I'm really surprised so many of the guys here found it, maybe not fully formed, but kind of found it early. So I'm not when I'm watching the show, I'm not looking at 4 joke machines, just doing really anonymous kind of stuff that anybody can do. I'm like, wow, I see where he's going here. Everybody's got kind of a style or a genesis of a style. It's really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got their own take.
Do you find it like you do a better show either later at night or earlier in the night? Or
Later
what's
at
your
night
favorite?
is tougher.
Yeah.
Usually,
think
second shows, everybody's really drunk and tired. Seriously, the worst show for years, any comedy club is a second show Friday because everybody's been working all day. They want a good time, but they're tired. Now, second show Saturdays have kind of gotten that way. People are just like kind of out in a pub crawl, and lucky us, they stopped here.
Is it hard for you to get over, like, maybe farther down in your career you get over it, but at the beginning, is it hard, like, say, if you do 2 shows like that in a night, to still do it in an effective, funny way and pretend like you have just said that joke for the first time? Or does it feel like you're, even though nobody else has heard it, in your mind, you're saying, I've already told this joke, essentially?
That only happens to me if I do 3 shows in a night. And I've talked to a lot of comics, it's common. Some place will do 3 in a night. And that third show, you start to go, did I say this already? 2 shows, you're just so kind of keyed into it. You're just used to it, But 3 will do it. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, did I say this already? Yeah. You start second guessing yourself and you screw up.
Yeah. What do you got, Darin? I
what-
thought he fell asleep over here for a second.
no.
Wake him up.
When we have bands on, we like to ask a question and hear about like horror stories from the road. I'm sure Don has some. Like for an example, a band we had on, they were going to a gig and their vehicle broke down. Well, instead of just sitting in the vehicle, they pulled everything out and played a whole set on the side of a highway.
Huh.
So, I mean, do you guys have any horror stories where, you just weren't on your game, hecklers, technical problems happened at the venue?
Diarrhea while you're on stage, those type of moments.
Oh, you there last night? Sorry about the smell.
Mine was we did a Valentine's Day show.
Oh, no. Okay.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah,
it's gonna be 2 years this
I
year.
don't know. I blocked it out.
In Arnold's Park at the Ritz, in Arnold's Park, Iowa. It was horrible. That was
At the Ritz? Yeah. Sounds like a pretty upscale place.
I know, right? It's not. I mean, it's a really nice place. I'm
Is
not
it a
gonna
Ritz
say-
Carlton or just a Ritz?
No, it's just the Ritz.
That's why.
But it was I don't, man, I felt like I was on, because you have those things where you feel like you're just really hitting it hard, and it was just like, I guess if it was like batting practice, I'd be, feel like I'm knocking them out of the park and I'm just hitting squibs. You know what I mean? They're just bouncing off the home plate. That's the way it felt to me. Like I don't know. I gave it all, and I was out there and I was really.
Well, the crowd just suck?
No, I don't think there's really such thing as a bad crowd, so to speak. Stupid crowds, yes.
I
No.
disagree on that.
No, it just it wasn't the right setup for a comedy show. You know, it was dinner. There were servers coming in and out. You know, it just wasn't.
Just distracting.
We literally, just not to cut you off, but I know exactly what you're talking about, because one year we had a company little Christmas party. We had it out at, I believe it was the Icky Nickel, and they hired a comedian to come and do jokes for about, I don't know, 25, 30 people at the back of the Icky Nickel there. And there's people playing pool and stuff, and he's just kind of, I mean, I don't even think he had a microphone. I mean, he was just kind of yelling his jokes to the 30 people that were sitting there eating their burgers and fries and stuff. Kind of, I don't know. I get completely what you're talking about, because I felt bad for him at that moment. And it was like, it was just a hard place to do a comedy show.
Who books that? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Okay.
No clue.
No,
It's a comic joke. Every time you tell some hell gig story, somebody goes, "Who books that?"
No, but I mean, there are ideal places, ideal ways to have a show, and not ideal. Like, for instance, opening up in front of a band is not really a good thing.
Oh God,
No.
It's not. You would think it would be, because people think like, oh, comedians, they need a crowd, and bands draw crowds, but bands draw crowds for bands. They don't draw crowds for comedians, because all we are is shut up and get off the stage so we can hear our band.
you're some idiot on stage trying to talk to them,
Exactly.
and they don't care if you live.
And John only has so many striper jokes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Three guys walk into a bar: a Jew, an Irishman, and a winger. And the first guy says, "Let's pick the most obscure reference I can."
Kip Winger.
I think I got one. It's not so much a gig, but I was coming back. Me and my friend went to Omaha for an open mic, and the open mic doesn't start till like 10 o'clock or 10:30 at night. And we decided to stay the whole. I didn't work the next day, so we decided to stay for the whole thing. So that got over around 1:30 in the morning. Then we drove back, and in between like Sloan and Salix, where the speed limit's 70. Also, an animal. I saw an animal which I didn't see up until it's 2 inches from my headlights.
Dead.
So I know everyone else is an expert driver apparently when I tell them the story. I swear to try to miss it, because generally when you drive, you try to avoid hitting things generally. So I swerved and crashed into a tree way into the ditch. And the cops came, we got out, we're fine. Apparently I hit my head on the side door, which I didn't notice till like 10 minutes later when I rubbed my head, like, oh, there's a bump growing on my side of my head. I touch it 1 minute later, it's twice the size. So I'm talking to the cop, and they asked, you guys haven't drank? Yeah, we each had 1 beer. 1 beer? Okay. I go over to talk to this other cop who does that, the finger test where you gotta watch his finger, make sure your eyes don't shake or whatever. Yeah. And then I took the breathalyzer, all 0. He shows the main one who's questioning me first. The look on his face, priceless. I'm just saying, priceless. And then they're going, so we doing Omaha? Oh, I was there for an open mic. Oh, you're a comedian. Huh. Tell us a joke. And I'm on the side of the road at 3 a.m. in the morning. I just totaled my car. There's a bump growing on the side of my head, and I'm looking up at 2 officers who are both built, stern-faced, like, and just a hand on the hip, just. And I went cold right there. I was like, oh, I only thought of a few jokes, and 2 of them, I was like, I probably should say to people who have the legal right to kill me.
That's when you should have went into your Hitler bit.
I don't think I had the Hitler jokes yet at that point. And then I told my opening joke and just bombed, just stern-faced the whole time.
That's a tough crowd. That's a bad crowd.
That's a bad crowd.
Crowds.
Yeah.
I started off with this cop joke. That was a good one.
Right.
Well, it's fun going 100 down the interstate. I wasn't driving. Me and my friend were in the back of the squad car. He's giving us a ride to Pilot for my roommate to pick us up. And I'm behind the passenger seat. He takes off. I look. Oh, look, I can see the dash. 100. And I almost said something. But I realized I'm already in the back of the cop car. I want him to stop here and let me out.
Yeah.
He decides whether I can get out or not. I think I'll be nice to this guy.
And by the way, we don't have any weed in the car. Just saying. Just throwing that out.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
You're judging me off my hair, sir. How dare you?
In your opinion, why do you feel that people should come out and not only see you, but come out to Chesterfield's open mic night?
The drinks are cheap.
The drinks.
Yeah. Thursday nights at 8:30. By the way. It's a good time. Support some local acts and
Yeah.
support a local business, and it's free admission. So you're just being lazy if you don't.
A lot of variety too, because you got like 4 or 5 guys on stage. Sometimes you go see one comic, and maybe they're your cup of tea, maybe they're not. You got 4 or 5 guys. It's a real. I think that's what's interesting about the show. It's very varied. You know what I mean?
5 chances to get
Isn't
really
like
offended.
oh man, I'm a half hour into this and I don't like it.
What have you noticed with comedians over the years, Don? Is there more comedians now, less comedians now? More funny ones, less funny
it's
ones?
hard. It kind of goes in waves. When I started, it was like '83, and that was a golden age. I mean, it was all
The boom.
yeah, the boom, right? Exactly. Clubs are opening faster. It was that time it was a seller's market. You could be a screw up comic. You could be one of these guys that show up coked up and drunk. But if you get through the show and you were funny, you got hired. After a while, there were so many guys. Well, I got another guy who'll do the job, and he's not a problem like you are. And it really leveled out, I think, late 80s, early 90s. And now another string of clubs, a lot more clubs are opening up. The Funny Bone really expanded, the improvs. So it's probably more than, I don't know if there was many in the boom because, man, there were just, so many guys I know now that aren't in it anymore, which is unfortunate. A lot of funny guys just couldn't, after a while, it's like, and a lot of these one-nighters and things, the money really hasn't gone up much since the late 80s. It was great money then, but
That's
some
everywhere,
agents-
buddy.
Yeah, yeah, probably radio too. Well,
He's trying to play the victim over there. Like, comedy doesn't pay anymore.
As a result, you got a bunch of really funny guys doing data entry now. So.
It's really frustrating when I see there's so many guys that some of them moved into parts of the business. Like John Reese is one of the funniest, most brilliant guys I ever saw, and he produces. He's a producer now. He also, you ever see the Seinfeld where Kramer went to the bank and the guy didn't say thank you or how are you or have a nice day, and he said I was supposed to get money because he didn't say this to me. I don't know if you remember that episode.
That sounds like
But the guy
something
behind
Kramer
the
would say.
counter was Regi, and he's one of the funniest guys. So I'm glad he's doing well, but I feel bad for anyone who never ever saw him do stand up, because his stand up would make my head hurt. I mean, I couldn't breathe. Just so original. So it does kind of bother me. Some guys are out of the business, and people just never got a chance to see him, do their act.
Who do you guys like for stand-ups?
Oh, for stand-ups? I grew up with watching the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. So, Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, Ron White. I do like Kevin Hart. His shit's hilarious, but I like the comedians that like Stephen Lynch and Dimitri Martin.
Jeez, I haven't heard Stephen Lynch for
Dimitri
years.
Martin.
That's
The Special
one of those where the
Olympics.
hell did they go moments.
Yeah.
Is he back? Yeah.
I really
He-
like, for current guys, I like Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Yep.
think he's
So
pretty
funny.
at the top of his
stand-up-
game right
his
now.
stand-up's
Have you
great.
seen that new show he's on, Baskets?
I want to.
That,
Yeah.
That's like one of them shows you see, and it's like, oh, this is a classic show right here. So, yeah, that's good. I like Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like her, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more of the.
she's under some controversy right now.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Maybe Don can weigh in on this. It's kind of like music. A lot of things have been done. There's different ways you can tell a joke.
There's
and
only so many premises.
Well,
she's apparently
Yes
using a
and no.
joke that was used by another comedian and possibly a second. There's probably 3 other comedians that have told this joke. She used it in a movie, Trainwreck, and now there's a big controversy of her purposely
well, I think
stealing
a couple
the joke.
people have backed off or just said, no, I just said it's like my joke. I didn't
Yeah.
say she took. It's what we call parallel development. Some jokes. I remember in the 80s when, MTV, that was hot. Culture Club was hot when we started. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Was the name of that song. That joke writes itself. Everybody had, George Wallace, man, I want to rip your head off. I knew a Pat Simpson, Kansas City, would say, yeah, I want to wait for you backstage with a lead ball bat. Now tumble for me. I mean, it was just so easy to write. There's a guy, I do a bit about how I'd like to own a hearse. And, oh, it's not dark as it seems, but there's a bit where I say, if I had a casket in the back, could I use the carpool lane? And well, there's a guy named Kermit Holiday. I've never met in my life. Super funny. We're nothing alike style-wise. And he's just doing kind of a bunch of quick little observations in a row. I wonder if blah, blah, blah. I wonder. if you're driving a hearse, can you use the carpool lane? We never met. It just happened that way. You know, a lot of guys have similar. It's easy. Again, like I said, there's only so many premises.
No, there's times when it's absolutely 100% on purpose. I did a comedy contest down in Omaha a couple years back, and the guy who won it used like literally a 6-minute set of Emo Phillips jokes.
So
I mean, it was from beginning to end, and I knew them all because I'm sitting in the crowd. I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay, there's another one. All right, there's another one. Okay, there's another one. But see, like, not everybody is gonna sit there and be, I guess, a student
know who it
of
is, yeah.
of comedy and know like all that stuff. So, I mean, I brought it up, and they're like, "There's really no proof." I'm like, "No proof? Watch a DVD for the love of God."
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy
YouTube.
came down the open mic once, and he ended with John Mulaney, I think,
Yep, John Mulaney.
from
joke.
his New in Town special.
So I mean, it happens. And a lot of people don't realize, like, well, like bands have cover artists, right?
Yeah.
And a
Or
lot of
tribute.
people, yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I'm sorry, tribute artists.
That's
My
a
bad.
hot subject
I
here
know, I
recently
know, I
in
know,
Sioux
I
City.
know.
Oh, is it?
But I know,
Very hot subject.
I understand that happens and
How
everything,
hot?
and they want to keep it, you know, where they want to do that stuff. But in comedy, it just
Mila
doesn't work
Kunis
that
hot.
way at all.
Oh.
There's a guy
That's
doing a
very
bit of
hot.
mine right
Yeah.
now. As far as I know, he's still doing it. Ripped
Sorry.
off word. A friend of mine caught him doing it word for word.
I mean, people always say that it's like you should feel proud. You should feel,
No.
you know, like it would just piss me off if I was a
Yeah,
comedian.
because
It'd
you
be
put
like,
all the work in. You over time. You start with your basic joke. You hone it. You work. You take this out. You put that in. Over time, you just keep making it better till you've got a very sure shot. I mean, you know, well, there's no real sure thing, but you know what I mean. A very dependable joke you can open a set on, and some guy goes, "Oh, I like that," and just takes it. Does
Yeah.
you know, you've done all the work.
What if you were seeing him in the crowd, and I assume has that happened to you, or have you seen
I
this guy?
I haven't seen him. No,
No?
I know he's out from the East Coast, but a club owner and 2 comics, I know I've seen him do it.
So what?
I yell the punchline. I'd be yeah. I said, "You're not gonna no."
Yeah. What if he started it and prefaced it with a comedian I love, Don Reese, has written this joke, and I
No.
just think it's too good
No.
to tell.
No.
Or too good not to tell.
Get your
Still
slimy
piss you off.
hands
Yep.
off my joke, you weasel.
I kind of want to do the, you know,
No.
it's the age of abuse of GoFundMe right now.
Yeah.
So I want to get together a GoFundMe page to send Don out to the East Coast to confront this guy, and you guys tape it. That'd be hilarious. You know how viral that would go?
Oh,
That
Well, I had a
yeah.
guy
you yell
one
the
time
punchline.
who
He was right at Hearst.
another comic told me that he'd worked with. He says, "Boy, the bit, I was going bald at the time. I hadn't shaved my head, so I had this bit on." He says, "I just saw some guy doing a bit like that." I said, "Well, a lot of guys bald. I mean, I don't know that." He goes, "No, I'm talking word for word." And he finally remembered who it was, and I remember working with this guy, so I called him. And what's funny is another guy I knew was working with that night. He was on the road, and I left a message for him. And I said, "Look, it's Don Reese." I said, "Are you doing a bit of mine?" Told him the bit. If this isn't the case, my apologies. If it is, stop it now. I'm going to mess you up. And he went to the club that night, and this guy told me later, "Oh, some guy named Don Reese. I don't even know who that is." Blah blah. Well, he calls me back, "Don, how are you?" Like we're old buddies. I mean, just a total weasel, this guy. And the other comic was funny because he's denied the other comic. Yeah, I saw you steal it 3 times big as life. Who are you trying to sell this to? Me? Boom. Anyway, that guy ended up working in Dubuque, Iowa, at a one-nighter. I was there like 2 weeks before I knew he was going to be there. I drove to Dubuque that night, got a hotel room, waited till the lights went down so he wouldn't know I was there. Stood in the back room, watched his act, and left where he got off. Because I thought this is going to be creepier if he's not sure if I was really here or not. They're just messing with him. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. But I said, no, I drove. That's 600 miles round trip. I drove yeah.
And that's how Aziz Ansari's career got started.
All right, we're actually gonna head to a quick break. So, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
you
be-
guys should hit the bathroom. There's like what's the soap you got up there? Oh, your hands. We're all gonna smell fantastic. Our hands will smell great.
Laba.
It's like it's a beautiful berry type soap upstairs that he purchased from a specialty store because he's got a hard on for like specialty soaps or something. So we're all gonna go use the soap real quick,
Yep.
and we'll be back.
So you listen to Lock and Load Show on lockandloadshow.com. Welcome back, everybody. We're back here with the guys from the comedy night down at the Chesterfield, and Eric with me.
What up? How's it going? Thanks for having me back. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
no problem. Thank you for coming on. So
That's about all I got. Wait, you said there were professionals here tonight, so
Yeah.
we're going to leave it up to them.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
yeah. So
Wouldn't recommend it.
No, probably not a good idea.
all right. Usually what we do on the show is we have bands perform, and that will, since you guys are like a quartet, a comedy quartet. So I mean, if you have something that you're working on, and that kind of give us a little snapshot of
Just
what,
give us everything but the punchline.
yeah.
Leave us hanging.
We're kind of like the Wayans brothers. There's like, what, 6 or 7 of them, right?
I think we're the furthest thing from the Wayans brothers.
We're the Wayans brothers if their dad was Tom Petty.
Okay, yeah, that one I got.
Or Uncle Fester.
I don't know. It's up to you. I have some. I don't know. One of my. It's turning out to be one of my favorite jokes. Is basically just talking about growing up in Iowa, and the jobs that us Iowa, people, I guess, have, and you gotta kind of take this in context. It goes into a whole set, so it's a little broken up now. So I'm really bad at it. Like explaining my jokes.
You're supposed to tell the jokes.
Yeah. Essentially, it's like I had a job one time when I was younger, walking beans. That's a difficult job. See, that's why. It's a difficult job because beans just aren't as smart as dogs, and they're a bitch to get a leash on. I also did some detasseling. Man, I hated that. And they hated me. My last day I knew I was going to get fired, so I just went around retasseling. Guy behind me was pissed off, man. Why does this have a staple in it? Have you seen this one? This one's got a rivet. I like that joke. That's
a good bit.
It's
That's a good
actually turning out to be one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's one of them jokes you can only use in the Midwest, though, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically all my jokes, considering the fact I've only worked in the Midwest. So,
Has anybody in here done detasseling?
I have.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't think they do it anymore. I think there's a machine for it now.
I got fired on my first day.
That's a. If anybody
Impressive.
questions, like what a 14-year-old's work ethic is at that time, just ask them after their first couple of days of detasseling. Man, that is the hardest work you will probably do in your whole life beyond the age of 16.
The reason
it gets easier from there if you do detasseling.
the reason I was fired is because I didn't work. Actually, me and a friend of mine sat in the bus and ate the lunches. So,
It's some hard work, man. It's very grueling. It's very dictatorship. They cut your pay based on how many days you miss a day. They take you were making $10 an hour, but now for your whole check, you're only going to make $8 an hour because you missed a day. I was like, yeah, this job sucks. That's why I missed a day.
I was
Come back soaked and muddy and just it's horrible.
I was literally in the field for 10 minutes. No joke.
I think
I got hit by one corn husk. I was like, I'm done. I am done. Got cut right above my eye. I'm like, I'm not doing this crap.
We had a bunch of kids. My uncle actually ran a detasseling company, and that. So I was in forced labor. Me and my cousins.
You had to do it for free, huh?
Yeah, first couple of years.
It depends what type of uncle he was.
When I was 11 and 12 and couldn't do it for pay, I was out there doing it for free. But we had a great influx of kids until I got a real job, when I was 16.
What was that real job?
I worked 2 jobs. I worked at McDonald's in North Sioux City, and at the same time I worked at Billy Boy.
Oh, competing businesses.
So-
Did they know about it?
Yeah, actually, 3 of my best friends growing up, we all worked at the same 2 places together. So it was hilarious. Anyway, kids would corn dog each other.
Corn dog.
That's where
Sounds
a
lovely.
kid's
is that?
walking
Dear
through the rows
penthouse.
of corn
Yeah.
and pulling the tassels, and then another kid would come up like super secret ninja and just tackle them into the fucking row of corn. And it was exciting to see, like, corn's over your head, and then all you hear is and then you hear and you start laughing. Well, the last time that it had happened, a kid seriously got hurt. What had happened was the dude jumped out in front of him and like Goldberg speared him, and the kid had landed on the corn, and the stalk had broke, and it had impaled his rectum.
Oh.
And
You guys-
Wrecked him.
And then you guys left
Damn
him
near
there.
killed him.
Thanks, we're here all week.
Yeah, Don did something similar to me once. I was coming out of the bathroom at the Chesterfield, and he tackled me and yelled "corn
We
dog" in a
had this
hallway.
discussion.
I thought it was it corn dog or
Corn dog in a hallway.
Okay.
And I woke up in
Boy,
a puddle of my own
Sounds
blood.
like a
and
really
piss.
sick. It's like a really sick version of Clue. Hit him with the corn stalk in the hallway.
he woke up in a
Professor
bathtub with
Plum
ice
watched.
with a get scar in his side.
It was on the bottom of my foot for some
That's
reason.
what we
I don't know.
call
It was-
getting jimmied.
Well, that's the new way the kids do it now.
Fuck, I haven't said
That's
that in
just a
20 years.
fetish right there. All right, what do you got, Brett? You got anything? Or you got something there, Don? Or Drake?
Been working on a bit. I was talking about the older I get, I have less energy, so I don't really plan ahead like I used to. Like everybody has a bucket list. I'm at the point now I have an anti-bucket list. I just keep track of stuff I'm glad I didn't do. It's like a bizarro bucket list kind of. So, me not burn down orphanage today. Me good. Things like, okay, become wildly successful overnight and fall prey to the excesses of fame. Nope. I'm at the point now in my life, all I want to do is when I want to live the rest of my life so that when I die, the word ironically does not show up in my obituary. Because that happens, you're really screwed up. I swear, like when OJ dies, they'll mention his football career. But they'll say, but he's probably ironically best known as the defendant in the twin murder case. Now, what happened to me? Don Reese died today. He brought laughter to audiences for over 30 years. Died alone, frozen to death in a dumpster, waiting for the plasma center to open. I don't want that to happen. Hot plate blows up at the Y and kills me. What are we having tonight? Don and beans again?
Something tells me you still got a scandal left in your career.
Yeah, I might.
One or two. I don't know. I'm working on my first hour of arts and crafts material. And I got one about I like to make diabetic sock puppets. You have to make scary faces on them because it doesn't work out if they're too sweet. True
It was
story.
a mismatched pair, too.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Diabetic sock puppets.
That's a great band name.
Yeah.
There you go.
Diabetic
That
Sock
is-
Puppets. I saw them open for Angry Toast. They're very good.
I heard of an awesome band, an up-and-coming band that hasn't started recording yet, but they do have a name, and their name is Tap Water Shrimp.
Nice.
Look out for Tap Water Shrimp. They will be on the local Sioux City music scene very soon.
I like them already.
Nice people. Very nice people. What's up, Drake?
I think one of my favorite ones, which I wrote the first year. I haven't done it for a while. I was going to do last night for Britton, but I forgot. So this is for Britton.
Ooh, it's a treat.
Oh, I
It's
just
one of
thought
my-
you said you were going to do Britt's joke.
No. No, funny material.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly. That's true.
But my mom, she's dead now. When she passed away, her birthday, it was in March. I haven't told the joke for a while, so give me a second. It was in March, and I remember how to tell this joke. 'Cause I haven't done it for a while.
Maybe you should tail on mine.
Anyway, the funeral was held on St. Patrick's Day. So my dad made a joke with him, hey, you always be able to remember, when it was. Yeah, in March in my family, you got my mom's birthday, my dad's birthday, my brother's birthday, my mom and dad's anniversary. The day my mom died, it's like, oh, I wrapped up into one happy month. And the anniversary of the funeral is on St. Patrick's Day, which if there is a God, that just his way of telling me I need an alcohol problem. But yeah, I was still in high school when it happened, and you know how you ask like friends or family, to be like pallbearers, whatever, people carry a casket. So I asked one of my best friends since kindergarten to do it, and he agreed. And at the time, neither one of us realized it was on St. Patrick's Day, which happens to be his birthday. So I always thought of, how did his day start? He's home sleeping. All of a sudden, his parents come to the room. Wake up, son. We just want to wish you a happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Oh, by the way, don't forget to put on the good pants. You have to carry the dead body. Just all of us there at the funeral, at the end, going, dun, dun, dee, doo, dun. Happy birthday to you.
His friend forgot to wear green. People kept pinching him while he was trying to carry it.
Dude, you dropped the casket. That was one of the first ones I wrote.
That's not actually. You said, "Dude, I dropped the cat." When I was 16 years old, my grandfather died, and I was a pallbearer, and it was okay. It was March again, which is funny, but not really. But it snowed the day before, and his funeral was at Memorial Park and everything else, and we were carrying the casket down to the site, and I was, I don't know, at the end or whatever, and I slipped and fell. And I pulled on. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I didn't realize, like, when I slipped and fell, I was pulling, and it came. I was almost dumped my grandpa. I was like, "Oh, Grandpa Dumpy."
I had that
Tragedy
same.
happened today.
I had that same experience. Well, I wasn't the one that fell, but when my aunt died, she died in a car accident back in 2012, and she is buried in Homer. Same cemetery where Lottie's at.
Yep.
And, there's a pretty big hill. Well, my cousins are not the brightest people.
Hopefully your cousins ain't listening tonight. Sorry,
No.
cousins.
No, they're still on dial-up, so. But
So in 2020.
so we're all, all the nephews, we were pallbearers and we're pulling her out of the hearse. And my one cousin would be the very end. And as he's walking backwards, he trips over my grandma's headstone. And we're barely holding on to it because, the end of it's still attached to the hearse. And the casket tips. And then all you hear is one of my younger cousins, who was 7 at the time, "Oh my God, you just killed it." Nay. I'm like, "Nope, she's already dead."
Just making sure.
How do you guys tackle a tough subject like that? Because I assume your mom has passed away.
Yeah.
Yes. How much guts, I guess, does it take for you to put something like that into your act, knowing that your family is going to see that and hear it and all that? I guess if your family shows up to your shows, doesn't sound right. But yeah, how tough is it to make fun of that type of situation, but yet still in a tasteful way like you did?
Like I said, and for that one, I don't think I'm really making fun of it. I'm making a joke of the whole situation, because to me that's what I love about comedy. Like one of my top favorites is Christopher Titus, and one of my favorite specials of all time, of all comics, is Norman Rockwell is Bleeding. And to describe that show, he was once you've driven your drunk father to your mom's pro hearing, what else is there? And that's his type of comedy I just love, because he takes all this horrible, horrible stuff that happens in his life, tells it to people in a funny way. And that's why anytime I'm having a bad day, I have over like 60 comedy DVDs in my house. I just watch one of them, because just take something horrible, laugh at it.
It's almost therapy, to be honest with you. When you get like, obviously when something happens to you or something else, it's always good to talk about it, and that's one of the main things. You have to talk about it. And so, I mean, like with me, I talk about it. It just I find humor in every single situation. It doesn't matter if it's a death or
it's
anything
either
else.
Laugh or cry about shit,
and
you can do both.
One of the funniest things. One of the funniest things I've ever seen is my grandmother's wake. Her I guess, during a funeral. And my little cousin gets up, and she's delivering part of a eulogy. And I was the only one laughing. And well, no, because I was the only one laughing because everybody else was just kind of sitting there stunned. And me, I seen the humor, and that was perfect. It was comedy gold. Is what it was. I'm sitting up there and cracking up and like almost falling out of my chair. She basically was just like, she's dead. Get over it. Whoop-de-doo. People die. Essentially, that's how it went. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how I heard it. It's probably not how it went, but that's how I heard it. And it was like 5 minutes of just that over and over again. Whoop-de, she's gone. Nothing you can do about it. Whoop-de-doo. She's dead. And I'm just and roll it. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. You just got to find stuff in everything and twist it, I guess.
They say laughter is the best medicine. Do you guys honestly believe that?
I'd say laughter with the mixture of Oxycontin and alcohol.
I was going to say, yeah,
Laughter with the
Vicodin
chaser,
yeah.
I think, is
Laughter
the best
with
medicine.
hookers and cocaine.
Yeah.
I like to bring that up because I always like to. People ask me, "Oh, hey, how's your girlfriend?" And I'll just say sometimes, "Oh, she died last week," and just to see the look on their face. Some people laugh; they think, "Oh, hilarious." Other people look at me like, "You are a piece of shit. Did you really? That's not funny at all. You didn't. You just." So I guess it all depends on your crowd too. But yeah, it's pretty ballsy stuff to put into a comedy routine. So
I think there's something to that. The whole thing about the best medicine, because I've done shows where you get so caught up. You're a comic. You're here to do a job. You know, you enjoy it. You love doing it, but it is your job, and you're just kind of thinking, oh, you get done. All you're thinking is, oh, I wish I'd done this a little quicker. This bit needs to be shorter. And then someone comes up and they had something really terrible happen in their life recently, and they're saying how they needed a night out, and this is what they needed. And you forget some people really. Well, I was doing a New Year's show in a suburb of Chicago, and afterwards I was selling CDs. This lady came up, an older lady came up to me, and she's bought a CD, and I'm signing it for her. She goes, I wasn't going to go out tonight, but my daughter talked me into it, and I'm really glad she is. Oh, that's nice. She goes, my husband's in his last stages of Alzheimer's, and I needed to get out. So it's really nice. I just gave it to her. So look, if I take your mind off that for a nanosecond, wow, you know what I mean? So there is that to it. I mean, you don't really count on that. Don't think I'm out there curing cancer or splitting the atom. But if once in a while somebody likes what you do and really is what they needed at that time, that's a great feeling. Yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
We had somebody comment on one of our Facebook posts when I mentioned you guys coming out tonight. They wanted to know if you could discuss what you call the final solution to America's homeless problem.
This is turning into a whole different show real quickly.
Really?
Gee, who's the one that made that comment?
Yeah, I thought honestly, I was hoping we were going to discuss the Manhattan Project and the, what had happened in culture of American history. But yeah, we can.
Oh, you want to get on harp towers and
Yeah.
fucking conspiracy theories?
Drake's love for the pan flute.
The 9/11 conspiracy, all that
JFK.
stuff, huh?
Oh, I love it. Alex Jones. He's amazing. He's funny to watch.
Yeah, that's no better comedy than Alex Jones. That's some interesting stuff.
We'll just leave it at just kind of go from there. That's fine.
No, I always liked George Carlin, and I mean he was the master of. He joked about cancer and made it funny. I mean he joked
Yeah.
about anything, and
I love his take on the 10 Commandments.
yeah. I liked his political stuff because the thing I loved about Carlin was people said he went after conservatives, but he had no patience for like fuzzy, soft liberals either.
No.
I mean, he really was. No, I've got my own view. Here's how I see it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you couldn't pigeonhole him. They'd say, "Oh, you're a no, he's not," and either side could not accuse him really of being, the other.
He seemed.
That's what I like about it.
He seemed reasonable.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was. Oh, I just.
Are there
I miss Carlin a lot.
Are there
Yeah.
ever jokes that you guys write or you have a thought about and then you go, whoa, no, that's too much?
Yeah.
Or you ever tried one of those jokes even better and not had a good outcome with it?
I have a good 9/11 joke, but
I think
Oh, wow.
it's still too soon.
I think it is
honestly.
still too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Gilbert
I wrote
Gottfried
one.
did
I
one.
wrote one the night after the Paris attacks, and my wife convinced me not to do it.
Yeah.
But
Was it
some
your wife
comedians
or-
will do that without
Both.
hesitation. They'll jump on stage, maybe a week after. I mean,
Gilbert
they ain't going to do it the
Gottfried.
night of,
Yeah,
but maybe a week after, a couple weeks after. That's how, with 9/11 and everything, Saturday Night Live was, I think, the first visual that all of America could see as a comedy
right.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of went at it very tastefully,
Yeah.
but still went at it. And that was only, probably a month afterwards, because I
right.
remember everything was just news for like straight month after 9/11. So,
Right.
but yeah.
And then Gilbert Godfrey was it like 2
2
weeks
weeks,
after
yeah.
the Friars roast?
Yeah, I think so.
That's right. I remember
Yeah,
that.
so, I mean-
Yeah.
With Gilbert, man, nothing is sacred. Nothing. So
See,
I love Gilbert.
I
Yeah,
feel
no,
I
he's
feel the
great.
same way, but I say some pretty fucked up stuff. But I mean, I know where my heart is. You know what I mean? So
what you say and what you mean are two different things. I'm trying to tell that to my wife every day, but no, that's the truth, man. We might, I don't know, you might say things that are questionable for people and everything else, but trust me, if you had a conversation with me after the show and you were upset about it or anything else, I would give you the reasons why I told the joke, and then you can respect it or not. That's on you.
No, I really don't fuck dogs. That's just part of my thing up
That's
there.
my thing, man.
I've got a dog. I've got a dog fucking joke. So I do.
I think my worst is my Hitler bits.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have
I've
more
got
than one.
I've got multiple.
The Hitler
Nazi
block.
Bits too. Yeah. I wonder if
Is that
Hitler
the
will ever
Eastern
be.
or the Western Bloc?
I wonder if Hitler will ever be considered a hero, because Hitler killed Hitler.
You went in a time
he was
machine
also-
to do it.
Interesting fact. He was
I
also
gotta
the
be-
best.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say Hitler was also the best environmentalist there ever was.
Oh wow.
Well, because you take it, environmentalism, not recycle, use less, not what most people try to do. If you take the extreme far hippie part of it, you realize it's not cars that are bad for the environment. It's not coal, oil, all this. It's not that. It's people. He took care of the problem. That and look at his policies. He believed in mass transportation, communal quarters, communal showers, communal graves.
Oh wow.
I hope we don't have any Jewish people.
And now, my
listening
friend,
tonight.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Oh, if you're okay with it,
Yeah,
then
exactly,
it's
right.
cool. You get a pass on that one.
exactly.
Well,
I just
like when I do, there's stuff I want to do, but I can't. Everything that comes out of me is, if it's mean, is amplified 300% because of the way I look. I mean, if I'm nicer than I look, the act works. If I'm mean, it doesn't. And I wrote a joke with him I want to do so bad, and I gave it to a friend of mine who did it instead. He says. He's tall. He's got long hair, and he wears this long. He says he looks like the Undertaker's wuss cousin, is what he says. But he says, or Fabio hadn't taken such good care of himself. But the joke was, my definition of a great girlfriend, one that'll help you bury the last one. I said, I can't do this. Take it.
Yeah, I like that fucked up stuff. Though. I want to do a roast battle. I think that'd be fun. If we can get some people down there.
Plus, I'd rather pick on. It's like Leno said, kind of like pick on someone bigger or smaller than you. I'd rather go after somebody bigger, someone who's really an underdog. I just don't find a lot of,
Bigger, so you can.
I just
fat
don't find
jokes?
a lot of possibility with that. I don't want to go after guys that are down on someone who's like in the news who's having a really bad time or something.
Like Bill
You know?
Cosby.
Well, I don't know. Bill's, but I'm talking about some unknown guy who got put away. When some guy gets out of jail 20 years, he's unjustly accused or something, and proven innocent. But it's a corporation. I really have no problem because it's like, hey, you're huge. You can take this.
Yeah, fuck corporations, man. I hate them.
the thing about Bill Cosby is everybody says
Hey, wait
he's
a
having a
minute.
really bad time. Did he really have a bad time? Because the way I see it is he had a lot of really good times, and it just caught up to
Define
him.
bad.
Exactly. That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
saying.
I find it amusing how on pretty much Facebook is the news of our life. Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff is essentially anything you see on Facebook is true. I like how one of the women dropped the case. So it's like, oh, Bill Cosby, he didn't do it. See, he's a free man now. It's like, no, there's still 149 chicks lined up to push their lawsuit against him. So
talking
you'll have
about
to make that same
Are
post
we talking
another
about him or Tiger
149.
Woods?
Ooh.
Is he still around? Where the hell did he go?
All right. Well,
I don't know where you. Yeah, they've got quiet. Everybody's trying to remember.
Yeah.
No one knows. We're all trying to figure it out.
Everybody get your phone out.
Who's Tiger?
do you guys have any Facebook pages? Bands have their own page. Do you guys have any that you'd want to give out for people to find more information?
Don's
on
got a
websites?
beeper number that he could give out to
I'm on
everybody.
something that's called "Look What They Did to My Facebook." No, it came from Iowa. I've got my page on Facebook, Don Reese, and those guys. It came from Iowa, which is more the comedy stuff.
Okay.
I have my Facebook page, which is John Olson, and my comedy Facebook page, which is John Olson.
There's
Original.
an open mic at the Chesterfield.
And we also have the
page.
Comedy Night at
Yes.
Chesterfield Facebook page, which you can go on there and find all sorts of funny memes and whatnot that we post up there about people that missed the show the week before, and we just berate them.
And then collectively, you can look us up on catchapredator.com.
Yes,
Yes.
we're all on there. It was a group photo, so
That was a good night.
it was.
I almost called mine. Isn't he dead? But I changed.
All right. Comedy Night at the Chesterfield's Thursday night, or every Thursday night. Free to get in. Cheap drinks at night.
Yep, $2 wells, $2 draws, man.
I would
So-
encourage anybody that is thinking about trying it out to come down.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
any hot chicks, too. They can come down as well.
What here's the one thing I
They're
want.
listening to this?
No joke. I want the 3 boob chick from Total Recall to flash me on stage. That is the one thing I want in my comedy career. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I can always dream.
Yeah, I don't think. There was a chick that did that. Wasn't there one a chick that did that in real life not that long ago? Got a third boob. Maybe
It's fake.
was it a
Yeah.
hoax?
Yeah.
Was it all
Was
fake?
it?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
sad.
that's disappointing.
That is.
It is very disappointing. I don't know. I would.
Market cornered.
Yep. There it is. No, the 3 boob chick. That's all I want. So.
Your needs are small.
So have you
True.
guys ever thought
Jesus.
about doing a comedy album together?
Actually,
I think you
that-
guys
that's-
got enough of them.
That's really
like a-
funny that you're
Like a
that-
blue collar comedy type thing.
There you go.
A collab, like
I don't think you
sucks
call.
comedy or something.
I don't think you can call what we do blue collar.
More like V-neck comedy.
It's almost like bukkake comedy. I don't know.
Shizer comedy.
You talk about your Friday night?
Always got
Oh.
to go to the big coffee every time.
No, we're actually gonna do a CD recording on February 28th. It's a Sunday evening at the Chesterfield, 6 p.m. It's free. Come on in. It's basically I'm gonna record my CD, so to speak. It's called Sidewalk Closed because let's be honest, they are. Not getting through here, buddy. Recording that during that thing, and then obviously everybody else is getting recorded and so on and so forth. We're going to put snippets together, have like a group CD, a group DVD, and then obviously individual stuff and whatnot. So it's a recording nonetheless. And
Promotional calendar to go with it
Yeah.
as well.
a little
like
bit.
a swimsuit
What
calendar.
month are you going to be, John?
What month? I'm going to be September because that's my birth month, and I'm Virgo all
That's
the
mine
way.
too.
I'm a nuclear winner.
So
Yeah,
he's
kind of post-apocalyptic thing. Put me in there.
so he's going to be Farch.
And I alone survived. It would be great. Come down, seriously. I would really recommend people come and give it a try because I really think, because I've been so many, I did open mics. That's how I started. I'm really watching these guys, and there's more commitment. A lot of times you got open mic guys. Some guys just do it for fun. It's just, they get bored. They drift away from it. Everybody here is really putting the work in. They're always coming. There's always new material. There's always, they're always honing this stuff. They're always working it. It's really amazing to watch. I mean, everybody just seems really committed to it. And that's, I think, where you get the great comedy. Somebody's really, really putting the work in, taking it. This isn't just me telling jokes I read in Hustler for my friends, getting a laugh, and going to get drunk with them. I mean, it's
How much do these guys hit you up for help? Are they calling you nonstop?
No, they never ask me anything because they look at me and go, "Well, you do, well, look at him. He was on TV in the '90s. Look at him now." I told him, I said, I think the way to get more people in that place is just put out the word to everybody who ever told me I'd never make it in comedy. Hey, I'm working at Chesterfield for 4 people for free. Come on down. I'll flood the place.
No, actually, I go to Don a lot for different things, asking him about certain stuff, how I'm gonna get into doing certain things and everything else, and I guess everybody's common goal is to kind of make it somewhere in the comedy business. Mine's a little bit off, I guess, compared to what everybody else. I don't care if I'm famous. I don't care if I make it anywhere and do anything. Honestly, I just want to work. I guess I want to work certain things for me, so to speak. I guess my pinnacle would be if I was to tour the Comic-Cons, because that's kind of like that's my wheelhouse, man, with the nerds and whatnot. So, that would be my, I guess, mecca, so to speak. It's just work the Comic-Cons and do things there, and whatever comes with it, it's fine. I mean, I've already done a movie, so it doesn't really matter from here on out. So
True.
He's got a lot of Star Trek and anime jokes that he needs to tell. People just ain't getting them right now.
I do a monster movie convention every year in Pennsylvania. It's the best gig of my year, and I would love to be. Honestly, I'd love that to be my career. Just do those and get paid for it, because the walk in to explain anything. We're all on the same wavelength. We all know the references. Boom. And it's easier to write for that than just very broad, I'm not going to tell you, me and my girlfriend broke up. My stuff is, I did a DVD and I did it there.
So how does that work with like material and stuff? I know we kind of went over some of this stuff earlier, but like, do you guys get like, you think of a joke, you write it down, you kind of bank it for a little bit, or do you immediately take that joke and kind of work it into the act that you already have, or do you just pile up stuff until you get a whole new show and then say,
it
run
varies.
with it all?
Sometimes you get a premise that's like, this is really small. I can slip this in real quick, just as almost like a one-liner, small thing, kind of couch between two bits, that are safer. So it's like, okay, this won't be the last thing, and I'll have a nice roll going. Then boom, nothing if it doesn't work. That's how I do it. And then I tend to like add things to it, expand. Then if it gets too bloated, it's like, that's one thing too many, you cut back. But it varies. Sometimes the stuff just comes to you fully formed almost. Other times you really, man, there's a joke in here, and you got to dig, and
Now, do you have to write that joke down and
I
memorize it word for word?
I record it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really.
Or does it just pop in as the idea when you're on stage, and then you
Sometimes it does.
automatically
Sometimes
know?
it does.
Yeah.
But I'm really big on the trying to get the right phrasing. Not to be robotic, but I just think, okay, what's the quickest, most efficient way to do this joke? Nothing extra. You want to get to the punchline and the laugh at the same time the audience does. You don't want to get there before or after. You know what I mean?
Kind of like producing your own jokes,
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I can't work on cars, but I love building jokes.
Definitely.
That's my thing. I'm a joke mechanic.
Don, I feel like Don is like, I don't know. A lot of people have certain, like, Don's been around for a long time. To me, he's like a mentor, and I think of him like prime rib, okay? And he's like the.
That wasn't the first thing that came to mind when I looked at Don.
No, he's like the end cut of a prime rib, meaning like you can't.
Where's he going with this?
No, you can't always get the end
Cannibalism?
cut. You can't always get the end cut of the prime rib. You can get prime rib. You can get a comic anywhere, but you can't always have a comic like him. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what's really cool about him. Like. Being a friend with him and coaching me and mentoring me throughout, because like I can ask anybody and they can tell me
answering the
whatever,
phone when you were 12 and called him.
Yeah, he did. And if it was anybody else, I would probably not be doing it right now, because they would have just hung up and been like whatever. But that's not the kind of guy he is. So
I will be at the Chesterfield this Thursday, and I'll be pairing au juice. So, little horseradish if you want to bring it. I'm just saying, it makes the show better. I don't know why.
Dick.
I'm sorry, I'm still chewing on this one. What? I'm on the end of a prime rib?
Meaning, like,
God, I'm glad I'm not,
why is it that I always
oxtail
have to,
soup.
I always have to justify my anecdotes and analogies with you?
He reminds me more of gas
I
station
understand.
nacho
I love
cheese.
you. It's nice being your mentor, but why don't you find somebody who's making money at this? who still has a pulse in this business.
I tried. He told me not. He told me to go back to you. I'm kidding. No, but
You've been had.
Must be nice to have your balls washed all the time, huh?
So the reason I stay in the business.
No, but this business is filled with a bunch of comics, obviously, and it's always cool to meet different people and talk to different people and everything else. But there's only a few of them that you can sit down and you're like, they're my friends, and obviously Don's one of them, and these guys, the other two guys in the room, I think.
I kind of like to think of us like mob wives.
Mob wives.
You know what I mean? It's a close community. We all fucking hate each other, but we pretend. So.
Well, it's like somebody told me Seinfeld said this. The reason comedians like to hang out with comedians is the same reason cops hang out with cops and hookers hang out with hookers. The only people that understand the job. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Now, why do comedians, they never talk about the good gigs they had? All they do is they try and top one over with the worst gig they had. That's just, people can't. Why would you live over, go over the worst thing that happened to you? Well, it's just what we do. It's hard to explain. Doesn't mean people are not bright. It's just, like I say, a name to John, an agent. I'm talking about, I don't have to explain it anymore. If I have to explain it to someone who's not in the business, it takes forever.
Absolutely. And
here's how it's supposed to go, and here's how this weasel does it.
I think it's funny because once you become a comedian, you start getting in a tight-knit group or whatever, then normal people, you have nothing in common with them anymore.
They're just not fun anymore.
Meaning, the conversations and everything are not the same whatsoever. So I can't go to a picnic anymore without, being kicked out or... No, that wasn't a picnic. That was the luncheon after my aunt's funeral.
These are the only guys that'll still accept my dick pics. So I'm just thankful for that.
Which is
Always,
amazing.
man.
It's amazing.
Always.
Yeah.
Amazing quality picture. That's why, because the camera quality is just amazing.
Well, it's
It was
There's
like
other stuff there,
4K.
but
it was the new Canon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
amazing quality.
Look at the resolution.
Now Don's using those as his dick pics. No, that is mine. That's mine.
Well, I dye my Merkin gray. I usually shave. That's why I got the Merkin.
Man, this took a weird sharp
turn.
left a while ago. I'm not just...
You guys want to?
That's a good.
No.
You should see him on Ash Wednesday. It's I got.
But yeah, everybody come down Thursday night, 8:30.
Yeah, you get to see this.
Yeah.
And preferably not Britton's balls
That's right.
and dick.
No,
Just the tip.
and the thing is with there had been talks or whatever about doing open mics and stuff like that around town and everything, and I kind of nip it in the bud right away because there's only one place I feel that we should do it, and that's Mick's place.
Yep.
At the Chesterfield, and the reason is because he was the only one who responded to me when I asked. Number one. Number two, I've been loyal to the guy for 4 years now. I mean, every Thursday you can count on it. We're there. I plug all. Dang it! I plug all.
Touching the mic. Quit touching it.
I know. I talk with my hands. I'm
Don't
kind
touch
of
it.
a handy guy. No.
That's why Don liked
About
you so
punch
much.
Don in the face right there.
No, but I promote all his stuff and everything else, and go down there and try to be a patron in his bar as much as possible because he is. Yeah, he's the one that made sure that I had a place to keep working weekly to get and have everybody else here get better, and so on and so forth. And even though we don't really draw a crowd so much sometimes and everything else, he's still stuck with us and everything. So the loyalty's there. So that's what we'll be. Is the
Mick is the real deal. He really is. He is. Man, I can't say enough good things. He's a true believer. He really is done. You know what I mean? What he's done for bands and what he's done for us is just amazing over the years. He's just a great guy, and I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, definitely a good guy to have in the town.
Yeah, he's,
Runs
you
a good
need
business.
You need somebody
exactly.
like
You
a Mick
need
in the town. Exactly.
Yeah.
if it wasn't for him, we've been partners for about a little over a year now. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be where we are.
You say partners, like how?
You know what he
I don't know.
means.
Does Mick feel the same way that you do here, Darin?
It's only for tax reasons.
Yeah.
After 9 o'clock, he does. After 9 o'clock, Mick does.
So Thursday nights down at the Chesterfield.
Yep.
7 to 9.
8:30 to 10.
8:30 to 10.
Or 7 to 9.
Or
I mean,
7,
drink
whatever.
special.
Well, you
whatever.
guys do it at 8 o'clock. You can't show up at a decent time.
It's
8
whenever
o'clock.
they show up.
No, we don't start till 8:40.
Don't get me started on the 8:30 thing.
I think we should start at 8:32.
Most of the time we do.
And go.
So free admission. Anything, any shows in the area, like solo shows, any you guys have coming up other than what you guys do at Chesterfield?
Just our CD recording on on February 28th, man. That's
Okay.
going to be a lot of fun. So
The Stars benefits coming up. I'm doing that February, I think the 20th. Doing that. And, well, in
And
September,
we have in
Cancer Sex Comedy Rocks will
in
be back
Oc-
in September.
October.
October, excuse
Yep,
me.
October
October.
20,
Okay.
October 22nd.
I'm going to be here in September. You can do it or with me or without me. I don't
That's
care.
fine. October
I hear-
22nd, we have our fifth annual. That's the Awareness Strikes Back.
Star Wars theme.
The fifth annual Cancer Sex Comedy Rocks. So that's October 22nd somewhere
Okay.
here in town. So whenever that's gonna happen.
Only got like 9 months to prepare for it.
Yeah, we figured
Better
out.
start writing.
We thought the date of like I don't know, the day after the last one. So we're like, we're gonna wait until actual 2016. So we.
You can catch Britt at the Morningside Nursing Home next week.
That's right.
I hear your jokes go over well there.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Well, it's because none of them can hear me. So.
Actually, dude, I did a show. I did a show that what's that called? The Pierce Street? Pierce Street Senior Living or something like
Family planning.
that. No, it's not Pierce. Wait, hold up. Pearl Street. The Pearl Street one. You know what I'm talking about? It's down by the police station. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, you know, the
senior
Plasma Center.
No, but I did a show there for obviously it was a nursing home type. It's assisted living, so it's close enough. Okay. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had like a group of like 60-year-old groupies, dude.
Are you thinking of hospice?
No, it wasn't hospice is a killer show.
There's a lot of Clark Gable jokes.
No, but no,
A lot of
You don't just get
Fred
hospice, you
jokes.
earn
you
hospice.
earn it. No, but no, that was
A lot of jokes about oatmeal.
You never know you never guess what he put in.
What do you guys think of this New Deal thing? I don't know. My nephew's in the WPA. I don't get it.
I like Ike.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I think there's something fishy about that whole teapot dome thing because
So I was going to go
Way
hunting
back
with JFK this last weekend.
Oh, did you hear on the radio that Hindenburg went down? Oh,
that Kaiser. Anyone like him? I never liked that guy.
Kaiser
The
Soze?
Kaiser. No.
okay.
All right.
We went off on. We're gonna do. All right,
We
guys.
do that.
You guys have been great. We're
Yeah.
gonna taking over from here on out.
Do appreciate you having us down here.
Yeah,
no,
thanks,
no,
guys.
thank you
How
guys
about
for
this?
coming on. So be sure to go down and check out the guys from Chesterfield's Comedy Night Thursday nights, whatever time they want to start. 8:30 to 10 down
Yep.
there at the Chesterfield. Free admission, drink specials, and all that. Also, February 28th is the recording going on.
Yep.
And then also follow them on Chesterfield Comedy Night. Find it on Facebook. We will share a link to that on our Facebook page and our
You better.
the video. And keep an eye out in next October for the Comedy Sucks.
Yeah, it's
or
close enough.
Cancer Sucks comedy show. Sorry, my
That's
bad.
all right.
Cancer sucks, comedy rocks.
Yep. There we
Yeah.
go.
All
For a
right.
minute, I thought
All
I was
right.
come up with another bit we couldn't do. Cancer rocks. That's another one I wrote I can't do.
And since we have Eric here, make sure to check out Eric Monday mornings on Z98's Morning Adjustment. Was it 6 to 9?
6 to 10. Yeah.
6 to 10.
You can check it out Monday through Friday. Yeah. A lot of good times.
Yeah.
Some giveaways.
Giveaways.
Fun stuff.
Impossible trivia.
Impossible trivia. We got
Yeah.
fact or crap. We got the pick of the day.
Yo,
Give me
yeah.
a chance to bust out some old song that nobody's ever heard of before and be astonished that one other person knows that song. It's
And
the only
also
time I
on-
can get away with it.
And also on your guys' website, the Babe of the Day.
Yes, they are very sexy babes of the day, or the Z98 Rex page, as we like to
Yeah.
call it now. But, yeah, it's a good time. Let's see. I don't know. Coming up soon, Well, by the time this gets on the internet, we'd probably be blowing out all these tickets. So I won't mention anything currently that we have going on. But, yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff.
March 12th.
March 12th. Yeah, we should talk about that real quick.
Let's talk about that. We are teaming up. The Lock and Load crew are teaming up with our friends, Eric and Andy Madsen, over at the Z98 to bring you guys the Z98 Underground Awards Show down at the Chesterfield March 12th. They're going to be doing their thing, handing out for the award winners, and then we're going to be bringing that to you guys live through our website. So streaming it live. Performances by the Buddha Cheese Band, Saul, Cold Kingdom.
Come on, you can do it.
Arson City.
Yes. And Black Death Jet Set.
Black Death Jet Set.
And then we're also going to have, I believe, a little surprise for people.
Ooh.
I don't know if I can say it yet, but by the time this gets on the internet, it'll probably be announced by then. So
Guar.
Guar is opening it.
Okay, it's me in a onesie.
There goes the secret.
There it is.
I'll just say we're going to start it off.
Going
We're
blind.
going to start it off with a little hip hop that night, and then we're going to move our way into the rock and roll. So yeah, we got some winners, we got some runners up and stuff like that. We got some people making a trek this year. I think last year was all Sioux City bands. I don't think we had any outsiders. So this year, Cold Kingdom, they've really been doing their thing. They're all the way from Minneapolis.
And the
super hot lead singer. Oh my God,
blue hair.
Yeah, I'm gonna get arrested that
How
night
old is
for
he?
some reason.
20s. She's fucking sexy.
I think of blue hair. I'm like, B. Arthur? Really? She's still around?
Yes, sir.
Marge Simpson.
Yeah.
So
But,
we got Saul performing, who performed last year. They won another award this year.
Yep.
Let's see here. We also got Arson City, who's been around the block a few times here, performed a couple of shows in Sioux City so far, and they're going to come back and actually perform twice within 3 nights. Saturday night, they're going to perform for our Underground Awards show there. We'll present them with their award, which happens to be a nice framed pair of underwear.
They won the undies.
It was
That's where I keep
stunning.
my emergency pair under
Then
glass.
And then we thought it would be funny last year. I don't think anybody got the joke because it's dark on stage and it's hard to kind of see everything that's going on. But there was a runner up there, so we took a pair of extra underwear that we had and soaked them in A1 sauce.
Oh, no.
We put them in the dryer, and it was fantastic. And we handed those to them on stage. I'm not sure who. I'm sure the band got the joke. I'm not sure the crowd was sure what was going on. Had Andy pull them out of the back of his. So somebody else would probably be getting an A1 soaked pair of underwear this year. Maybe we'll just use real blood. Maybe we could do that too. It'd be a good time. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be a good time. We're going to have to start it probably, 6, 7 o'clock. But you can catch it live streaming here, lockandloadshow.com, Z98rocks.com. We'll have the link as well. So if you can't make it down and support some local music that night, or maybe you just want to have the kids watch it from home, you can do that by lockandloadshow.com. We're going to have you guys streaming it, and who knows, maybe even Darin will get up and do a comedy set.
Anytime I get up on stage, it's a comedy set. I embarrass myself.
Me too.
So
Coming
Never
on
stop
Thursday, we'll
me.
put you up.
on Wednesdays, I get up for jam night every once in a while, and I totally embarrass myself. But I got up on stage after you guys were done with the comedy night for the karaoke that night, and they finally kicked me off stage after doing 7 boy band songs.
You should write a minute and come down next week.
I will think about it. So I'm not
So
very
it's a
good
yes. It's on the
25
internet.
seconds.
It's on the
25
internet.
seconds.
25 seconds of material. That's all you need.
And we'll give you a safe word.
Yep.
All right, I might take you guys up on that. So
Come on, we're
on the
challenging
internet now.
you. We're challenging
Your
you
audience
right now
Your audience would love to hear that.
to come down, get on stage, and do 1 minute. How about 2 minutes?
1 to 2.
1 to
1
2
to
minutes.
2 minutes.
You have your own prepared material.
So you can do as little as 1. If you go a little over, it's not going to be a big
Yep.
Okay, you guys, what if I don't have it memorized?
It's fine.
You can
Okay.
use notes.
Yeah.
Never
Okay.
stop
It's an
me.
open mic.
Okay. You know what? I'll take you guys
You
up
know
on
what?
that,
I'll write it on the inside of my thigh and stick my leg on the stage.
and I might like
I
that.
can just
I know.
see Darin up there with his cue cards. So this duck walks into a pharmacy. That's all I got. That's the most of
Got
it.
any grapes?
Just-
Can't read the rest.
See, I
Put it
I
on my
like that.
bill. Let's put it on my bill. That's the punchline. It's a good joke. Put it on my bill. Get in here. Anyway, I think Matlock's about to start for Don over there, so we should probably let him roll.
Really?
He's got to get home and watch.
You got to get him back. You guys have to take him back to the assisted living facility so you can get nighttime meds.
He will jump across all three of these tables.
I don't like the fact that I'm sitting here now.
Yeah, I feel very uncomfortable. I think he's
No,
going
I
to kill me.
actually was going to watch the DVD, Cannibal Orgy of the She-Devils. Matlock? Do I look like a Matlock guy?
I was going to say they get a nice block of it going on Me TV here within the
PBS
next 10 minutes.
Even graze the PBS stations when I'm surfing.
Do you really like
They're
that
blocked.
one more than number 2?
Well, if you don't see one, two, you're lost.
That's true.
Why is he eating that guy? Well, you should have seen the first one. There's so many leftover questions from Cannibal Orgy of the She-Devils one.
Did I ever tell you I loved you in the Toxic
Closure.
Avenger?
I think that's one of those
I gotta go. I gotta put 4 flats.
Comic-Con
on this car.
jokes.
I got things I have to do. Matlock. Seriously.
All right.
think
Thanks
the
for everybody
Great
tuning
show.
in.
It's a good show,
We
man.
also gotta start writing our alibis. We were not here.
And Drake's just got to get home to go beat off, so we better let him go. He's getting filled up
And to
over
call
here.
his girlfriend on the
Matlock?
cell phone.
He can only fill up for 2 hours before he needs to release.
Come
Oh,
here.
wow.
Come on.
Hey, the cameras are going off here in a second. Whatever we want to do, it's not going to be recorded.
Why not
so.
leave them on?
This got real weird real fast.
Cameras go off. Mine comes on.
We were staying here the whole time during the show, and then it's really just kind of sinking here.
All right. Coming up this next month, we're going to have the second best rock band from Canada, right behind Nickelback, Canadian Stranger.
Oh, boy.
Will be in studio with us. And a little newer band, Port Nocturnal.
Nice.
So, but yeah, that's all I have. Remember, check out Chesterfield's Comedy Night down there Thursday nights. I probably will be on stage this coming Thursday. I'll take them up on the challenge. And check out Eric on Z98's Morning Adjustment. I almost said Morningside.
Hey, close enough.
Yep.
That's the Morningside Adjustment. I really got to go after those Morningside people anyway, so I should probably rename it to the Morningside Adjustment for at least the next couple of months.
True.
Yeah.
Really round them up.
Yeah, so check out Eric on the Z98's Morning Adjustment, our favorite morning show. Just to let you know.
Thank you very much.
A
I
lot better
appreciate
than, what do we say, Jeeves and Mouse. So
that. I call it Goose and Moogle.
there we go.
Corduroy
No,
and
they're
butt
good
funnel in the
people. I
morning.
like.
Congratulations for beating them out and with the Sioux City Now.
Oh, we're gonna get into that, huh?
Yeah.
We still can't overtake that damn country, though. I mean, the
Yeah.
country's always number one in this town. People love the country, so I can't blame them.
Yeah.
It's some good stuff.
We are a Puritan nation, so
Exactly.
So, yeah. So,
I appreciate
March
you
12th.
guys
That's why
having
we
me.
like songs about cheating and drinking.
So remember to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Lock and Load Show. Follow us on Twitter, at Lock and Load Show, and check out everything else, lockandloadshow.com. So
I don't know if I've heard of the tweeter. I'm one of those guys who say, watch his Matlock.
No, you tweak on the Twitter.
and thank you to Drake, Britton, Don, and John for coming on, and of course Eric.
Yeah,
as
really good
always.
to talk with you
So-
guys,
Thank
man.
you, guys.
Nice to meet you.
you too.
So
Thanks for
everybody
having
else
me.
Not
have a
so
great.
much for you, Drake. Not so much.
I love you too. Love you too.
You
We
guys-
got business to take care of. Let's go.
All right. So have a
Back
great
in my
night.
car.